Hey, good afternoon, everyone. I'm so glad that you're joining me for the Profit Share Mastery webinar. I'm so excited to kind of share with you a little bit about kind of our discovery of the importance of building a plan around profit share and kind of what that blueprint and that plan was for us to take advantage of this wonderful gift that we've been given by Keller Williams called profit share. And I'm going to tell the story while we're kind of waiting for a few people still to jump on. I didn't always think highly of our profit share program. Maybe some of you can relate as well. I remember when I joined Keller Williams, I was the #1 agent in my city, and all I cared about was doing 50 more houses or 100 more houses. And I wouldn't even let anyone explain to me about that profit share program because I thought it was a big hoax. And I was really, quite honestly, way too busy to even listen to anything about it. So maybe some of you can kind of relate to feeling that way in the beginning about profit share also. So as we kind of moved into understanding profit share better, it kind of happened by accident. I had a really bad week one week. I'd worked like 80 hours that week. I'm sure none of you can relate to having worked that hard. I'm sure I was working way too hard. But we do have those weeks in real estate where we're 60, 80 hours a week and we're thinking, what in the world am I going to do? Am I going to have to work like this forever? And I had one of those weeks, and I just kind of said, maybe I should look at this thing called profit share. Maybe I could create some leverage and some passive income and give myself a little bit of space in all of this. And so that kind of began me to start looking for answers about the Keller Williams profit share. And I remember thinking early on, well, if I am going to do Keller Williams profit share, I want to do it really big and I want to make a lot of money. So I started seeking out people that would help me figure out how to build a plan around making a lot of money. And so I want to share with you kind of the blueprint that we put together on this. So Chris, if you can kind of forward the slides a little bit to the blueprint. Yeah, so this is kind of when we really sat down and thought about, from the time I got to a place where I thought maybe I should look at Keller Williams profit share to now us making, we'll probably get close to about $1.6 million this year in Keller Williams profit share. What was that blueprint and how did we do that? And so when we really sat down and thought it through, you can see the blueprint here on the screen. The first thing we had to do was think profit share, because before I had any profit share, I wasn't thinking anything about profit share at all. I wouldn't even let anyone talk to me about it. So the first thing that happened is we had to think profit share and maybe think about how we could do it and what is it and understand it. And then the next thing that happened was we were in a mastermind with Gary. We all know that he always masterminds with his top agents. And we happened to be in a mastermind that day, and the topic was multiple streams of income. And because it was multiple streams of income, he challenged each one of us in the group to go away and do a pro forma on a standalone business. And so fortunately that day, I thought unfortunately at the time, I was the very last person at the table. And I thought that was going to be a horrible thing because everybody had already taken mortgage company, title company, all the things that I could naturally think of to do a pro forma on. Someone had already taken that. And so when it came my turn, Dave Jinks leans over to me and says, Linda, you've been wanting to know about that profit share. So why don't you do profit share? And so, of course, anything sounds good 4 months from now. So I said, sign me up. I'm going to do a pro forma on Keller Williams profit share. And then I very quickly thought, oh, crap, I have no idea where profit share comes from. How do I figure out how to build a business plan around it? And who in the world can help me do this? And so I found someone in the company that I felt very confident that understood it, that could help me do a pro forma, flew out to where his office was, stayed a few days with him, taught for his agents, and at night he actually tutored me and taught me about profit share. And then the next thing we did, once we had that plan of how to make $1 million, which was get 20 people, help 20 get 20 and get 5,000 total, then we had a plan to kind of get us started. And then the next thing I did is I just looked around and said, what relationships do I currently have? And so the second part of our blueprint is about looking at the relationships you have, or building relationships. And then the third thing that we did was we just said, what's our validity? What validity do we have? Because in a minute I'm going to share with you kind of the formula that we came up with to build a big profit share tree or a big profit share amount of money. And so we looked at those relationships and we started to build more relationships, all the while thinking about profit share. Then we found our validity. What validity did we have that we could share with other people, and what validity did the company have? And to be honest with you, at the time, there wasn't really a ton of validity in a lot of things, but there was validity. So we just had to look for those things. And the biggest thing I found validity in at the time early on was Gary's teachings, and so I used the heck out of that. And then the fourth thing we did is we discovered what they value, because a lot of people, I noticed, when you're trying to get someone to come to Keller Williams, you try to sell them on what you think is of value. And what I want to teach you to do through our blueprint is how to discover what they value, because that's what's important. You know, we can be all excited about something, but if that's not what they value, and a perfect example of this is this. When I joined Keller Williams, I was paying my company, even though I didn't really know it, over $100,000 that year on my 80-20 split. That was the highest you could get with this particular company. And if anyone, a team leader or an agent, had known that, they probably would have tried to sell me on the value of the $18,000 cap that our office had at the time. And you would have made a grave mistake doing that, because that wasn't of value to me. I didn't even know what I was paying, and so that wasn't of value to me. So that's why I want to teach you how to discover what their value is, because that's what's important to them. And then the fifth part of the blueprint is, how do you begin to build profit share today and every day forward? How do I include it in my day-to-day operations? You know, how do I do this on a day-to-day basis, and how do I start dropping it into my regular day every single day? You know, a lot of people think that profit share is either or. I'm either going to work on my real estate business or I'm going to work on profit share. And what we'd like to teach you is how to do and. It's not either or, it's and that's a beautiful thing, because most people are afraid to work on profit share because they're afraid that their business will go down. And we're going to teach you how to actually use this blueprint of building your profit share to actually even help you be more productive and make, you know, more conscious effort on the dollar productive things you need to be doing, to use that to help you build your profit share. So we'll talk about how you do not either or, but and. So if you would, look at the next slide, because I want to share with you kind of a wake-up call that we had, that I had to really help me enforce how important this profit share business plan and this profit share blueprint would really be in my life. Is the day I really woke up and realized that the last day we pick up our last sign is the last dollar we'll ever make in real estate. And I don't know at what point or if you have discovered that, but that was a very sad day for me, because I kept thinking selling 50 more houses or 100 more houses would solve every one of my problems, that I really didn't have a dilemma. And this is a true dilemma that every single one of us has, and the sooner we know it, we can't pretend we don't. And so what I love about me discovering and waking up to this fact was it forced me to look for other things to fill that space. When I did sell my last sign, sell my last house, what would take the place of that? Or if I didn't ever want to not sell my last house, could I have that money coming in and I'm working because I want to, not because I have to? So the realtor dilemma is something we all face, we all have, and the sooner we realize that profit share is a great substitute to solve that problem, 50 more houses and 100 more houses does not solve this dilemma. So, Chris, if you would, let's go ahead and look at the next slide, because one thing we have to get in our mind before, and I know this from my own experience, and I'd like for you to answer in the chat box, if you would, what do you believe is the single most dollar productive thing that you can do as a KW agent? What's the single most, and if you've been at Mega Camp, Gary always asks this question at the very end, but if you would kind of type in the question box, if you would, what you believe is the most dollar productive thing we can do as a KW agent. And I would like to kind of hear what some of your answers are on that. But if you're at Mega Camp every year, Gary will always save this question for the end. And most people will say lead generation, meeting with and talking to clients, recruiting offices. So there are some recruiting in there, but what most people believe is it's about getting a listing or prospecting for a listing. And Gary always says at the end of the Mega Camp, no, for KW people, the single most dollar productive thing you can do as an agent is go get another agent, go get a recruit. And so I had to shift my mindset and believe that the buyer and seller relationship was not the most important relationship I could build. And if you really think about it, if you think about the kind of money that's being made and that it's possible to be making profit share, we have to change the value that we put on relationships with other agents. I'm going to tell you that I sold a lot of buyers and a lot of sellers in my years as a real estate agent, and my team still does, but I've never made as much money as I have from my relationships with other agents. So the most important relationship any of us can have is not a buyer and not a seller. It's actually a relationship with other agents. And so when we put that top of mind and we treat that with the importance that it should have, that's when we begin to look at things differently, and we begin to have a mindset that's more about, that's conducive to us building a larger profit share tree. So the single most dollar productive thing, again, that we can do is, as a Keller Williams agent, is actually build a relationship with another agent and recruit them to our company. So let's look at how we do that. And before we look at how I'm going to recommend you do it, let's look at some of the common types of ways people are doing it right now. And so if you've ever watched the History Channel, there's an animal on there, and I'm not sure if it's Australia or New Zealand or where this thing is from, but it's known as the Kalahari dung fighter. So without me ever giving you an explanation, you can kind of get an idea of what this animal does. But what it does is it stores up, and when it gets under pressure or excited, it just flings that dung over whoever the predator is. And so I want you to have that visual, because that's what we look like when we get all excited and ramped up and passionate, and we kind of get close to a potential recruit and we just fling it all over them. And so that's what I want you to have as the visual, because that's the common type of recruiting that we see right now. The next most common type that we see is the one that we call sell and tell. I am so excited about what I'm excited about, and I want you to be as excited as me, so I'm going to sell and tell you on everything I'm excited about. And so that one we do a lot also. We call that one the sell and tell. The other one that I see a lot is, and I'll have people actually approach me and ask me for this one. They'll say, Linda, I want to make as much profit share as you. What's that magic script? And so they think there's one magic script that's going to do it. And so when I share the formula with you in a minute, you're going to understand why the magic script isn't what you're looking for. Now, don't get me wrong. You know, we're going to work on a little bit of scripts of how you get into a relationship with someone or how you start a conversation. But I want you to change the word magic script to more about conversations. And so I'm going to teach you how to do that. You already naturally know how to do that. You just are not thinking that's what you need. You're thinking a magic script is what you need. And so we will go over some scripts in the course, but it's not a magic script. It's more about conversations, and we're going to walk you through how to do that. And then the very last one, and this one I love because I've been guilty of this one also, and this one's called a pre-decider. This one is painful to me because I missed a very big, phenomenal recruit by pre-deciding that because she had owned a RE/MAX franchise before, that there was no way she would ever be interested. And so I pre-decided that this woman would never join KW, even though in my heart of hearts I had a relationship with her and I knew she would be phenomenal and I knew the company would be better if we got her. I pre-decided that she had had so many bad experiences of owning a RE/MAX franchise that that she wouldn't join. And so the call came one day, probably about 6 or 7 or 8 years ago, and she said, "Hey, Linda, this is Terry, and I'm just wondering, can you get me, I'm going to be in Austin all next week. Are you going to be there?" And I said, "Yes, of course I'm there. I'm there all week." And she said, "Is there any way you could get me in front of Gary Keller?" And I thought, oh my gosh, oh Lord, of course I can get you in front of Gary Keller because you're so amazing and you're the caliber of person that I could get him to meet with. And then my heart just kind of sunk because I knew I'd already pre-decided she wasn't coming, and she was coming to Austin because someone else had not pre-decided. And so we want to be real careful about the pre-decider. We don't want to pre-decide that someone won't come because their parents own the brokerage, because they've been there forever. And so we'll talk about all the ways that we pre-decide, and we'll walk through that. But that's a big common recruiting mistake that I see people make. So if you will, Chris, let's go ahead and look at the next one. So here's the recruiting formula, and this is not a literal formula, but this is really a great example and a visual for us to get our arms around, because if you want to know how in the world did Linda and Jim McKissack get to make about $1.6 million probably this year, we made $1.1 million last year, this is it. This is the formula that we have always used. This is the formula we will always use. We believe this is the formula that you will be most successful with. If you make that decision that profit share is going to be something that changes your life and your family's life forever, and you want to get serious about building it, here's the formula. It's relationships plus validity plus value over time. And the key word here is over time. We have to stop thinking we're going to get somebody instantly, and we have to stop losing interest because they don't come instantly. So part of what we're going to teach you to do in the mastery course is really just kind of make it part of what you already do. Make it with a small group of people, and don't worry about how long it takes, because people come when they're ready, and they come for their reasons. I remember one time asking Gary Keller, "Gary, doesn't it just drive you crazy when you know you've got to recruit and they should be here and they don't come?" And he looked at me and said, "You know, Linda, it doesn't. And it doesn't because I'm in this for the long haul, and I'll be here whether they come this year or they come 10 years from now." And I thought, oh, okay, all right, then I guess I can just stop being so emotional and upset and, you know, kind of maxed out when somebody doesn't join within the time frame that I think they should. And so that's why we're going to teach you not to pick a lot of people, but pick a few that you really could enjoy building a relationship with. And all great relationships take time. You know, I can't not spend time with my kids and them understand I love them. And so we're going to teach you that all relationships take time, but they're not going to take as much time as you think. They're going to fall into what you're doing on a day-to-day basis. So find those great relationships that you would enjoy building. I'll give you another example of this. I don't normally put new agents on my whiteboard, and we'll have a picture of the whiteboard so you guys can see what that looks like. But I don't put new people on my whiteboard, not because I don't like new people, but because working with new people doesn't fill me up. It doesn't make me go home all jazzed and excited about what I've done. So I might get someone else to do the new people, or, you know, someone else in my downline to do the new people. I don't put those people on my board because I want to put people on my board that I'm going to enjoy building that relationship with. And then plus validity. What does that validity mean? What we're going to discover is teach you how to understand each of you have validity. I promise you, you have so much more validity than you realize, but we're going to teach you how to recognize your validity, and then how to recognize the other people in the company's validity that you can use, and how to recognize what tools we have in KW as validity. And so we'll teach you a little bit about how validity works. But the main thing I want to share with you is all of you have it. I don't care where you are in your career. You're just not used to looking for what that validity is. And then also value, how to understand what is of value to them and not keep trying to give them our value, and understand the only one that can decide what their value is that person. So we'll teach you how to look at and ask great questions to figure out what is of value to them, so that you can now start giving, because my favorite way to build relationships is be a big giver. And so when I know what is of value to someone, I know what to give them. And so we'll work through all those and some examples, live examples of how to do that. And then the main thing is, how do I do this over time without it taking all my time? And so we'll show you how do I do this and build my real estate business, and actually how do I use this as a tool to be accountability for me to do some of the things I need to be doing to do my business even better and at a higher level. And so kind of this is kind of what we've found and what we've used. And so this will either resonate with you, this will be something you go, oh my gosh, I never thought about it. And I'm going to be honest with you, how we built a great real estate business was exactly this formula also. So when you learn this, you're going to actually be able to use this in your business, and it's the very same formula of how I built a business that's 14 years without me, that has on average about 14 come listings a month. By this very formula, I built relationships, I had validity, I delivered value, and I just did it over time, over time, over time. And so this is a great formula for you for your real estate business, and even for you to build a great profit share plan. So let's look at what you can expect if you choose. And what I'm going to do is today I've shared with you as much as I can possibly have time for that they've allotted for us. But for those of you who are interested, I'm going to show you how you can get more and what you would get in the more, just for those of you that are interested. So what to expect in the Profit Share Mastery. Number one, a plan for building wealth through profit share, because I believe everything starts with a plan. You know, until we had a plan to build over $250,000 in passive income, we didn't build any passive income. And so it won't matter what your number is. We're going to teach you how to come up with your number, but it really won't matter what your number is in the beginning, because the number and the plan around that number is, to me, is what makes you get started and take that first step. And the first step is always the hardest. So a plan for building wealth through profit share. I'm going to teach the formula in more detail. The one I showed you on the screen a little bit ago, I'm going to teach you more how do you recognize that and do that more naturally. Once you get this, this will be a natural thought for you. It won't be something you have to kind of think about. It just will come naturally, and you'll do it on a regular basis. I never don't think recruiting, never. It just is a natural, just like if you were standing next to me and you were going to do a real estate deal, my antenna would go up, I'd pick it, I would think it, I would react to it naturally. You'll do the same thing with profit share once you understand this. It'll just be something that's natural. And the only reason you don't have more profit share now is it's not more natural. We're not looking at it in a simple formula of what we're talking about. And so it'll be a lot simpler once you become and make this a habit. We're going to teach you about eliminating the myths around profit share, because a lot of times, I know for myself personally, if I don't take a step towards something I believe in, I'm holding on to a myth or a limiting belief that's holding me back. So we're going to work through some of those, because as long as you have those, they're going to hold you back and restrain on how much you can do or make. And so we'll walk through what some of the typical ones are, and then we'll even go in deep on some of the ones that you particularly have. And by the way, we all have them. I have a quote that says, don't compare your inside to anyone else's outside, because honestly, we all look the same on the inside. And so that's why you should really believe that if we can build to $1 million in Kellen's profit share, you certainly can too, because we have the same limiting beliefs, we have all the same restrictions anyone else. It's just learning how to get around those as quick as possible. The next thing we'll cover is strategies for recruiting different types of agents, because I know everybody gets all nervous and kind of hyped up about mega agents, and I'm going to share with you what is the proper way to do all types of agents, and how do you move through that based on who they are and how you're going to be involved with them. So there's different types of agents, and we'll talk about the strategies of doing each one of those. And then how to build profit share without taking away from your business. And this is the biggest one, because I think most people don't do profit share because they're so busy. I like to say we're walking over dollars to get to dimes, because that's what we're doing. By every day that we work harder on building our real estate business and just ignore profit share, we're walking over dollars to get to dimes. And so what I want to share with you is there's a way to do both in a normal day that doesn't take away from doing your real estate practice and your business. And so that's what we're going to talk about, is how do you do it, not either or, but and it's going to become very natural, and you'll just do it in a natural way instead of thinking you got to switch gears and stop working on your business today so you can work on recruiting somebody. And then blueprints for different recruiting strategies. And so what does that look like? What are some of the strategies that we see on a normal day-to-day basis an agent just doesn't see? And what I love about doing this is once your mindset is like this, you're going to see opportunities that you never saw before. We just had a big recruit in our strategy room the other day, and we were able to see an opportunity as it relates to what they're already doing that they could do to get recruits that they just haven't thought of or haven't seen. So we want to teach you how to think that top of mind so that you think of it naturally, and until then we're going to help you see in your own day-to-day life what are your recruiting strategies that you could use. So let's go ahead and move to the next opportunity that we have, and that's kind of the details about the Profit Share Mastery. It is going to launch on Tuesday, September the 20th at 1:30 p.m. Central, so you have to kind of regulate what that means for where you are. It's going to be 6 weeks of 1-hour webinars, and we're going to walk through each of these in a deeper level, and we're going to work with you specifically on how do you get this implemented in your life, how does it become natural and just part of your day-to-day operation. All the webinars are recorded, so if you get on there and you look at some of the dates, because we do have some dates that we kind of skip over a week or two and give you some time to go do some activities and bring us back some feedback, then all of them will be recorded and available for playback for your convenience. We do have an opportunity for the first 50 people that register today will get $200 off the program of the price of $497. So you have an opportunity to save some money and jump on this. And what I've discovered is what I focus on, I get. And so it's really for those that have decided you want to focus on this and you want to make it part of who you are. And part of our original plan was to make this an online course that we did not walk anyone through. And after I piloted it a couple of times, I realized I want to make it so good that eventually somebody can pick it up off online, go through in the morning with your morning coffee, and just do it naturally without us walking you through it. But we're going to walk you through this this first mastery course because I want to make sure we have everything, we've thought of every piece, and we haven't left anything out. So for those that are interested, and some of you are asking, how do I sign up? You can, if you have your phone with you right now, you can pull it out and text to 72727 the words KW Profit. Now, when you get that link, you'll still need to use the promo code MyFuture, but that promo code is what's going to give you the bigger discount. So for those of you that have your phone, you can text 72727 KW Profit, and then you'll get a link. And when you get to that link, in the promo code, you're going to put MyFuture to get your discount. And then for those of you that just want to do it online, it's kwrievents.kw.com/PSM1, Profit Share Mastery 1, PSM1. And that's the way you can either sign up online on your computer or you can do it on your phone. And you know, guys, I'm real excited about this because when I looked out in the marketplace, there's some great profit share information out there, but I couldn't find one that truly matched the blueprint that we followed. And so it made us wake up and realize that maybe there were people out there that could follow the very blueprint that we follow every day, still to this day, to build their profit share. Because I truly believe if we all got this at a higher level, we would all get our unfair share of how big that pot is getting. And I just recently asked Gary Keller, is it possible for someone to make $2 million in the profit share program? And he said absolutely. So there's still tons of opportunity. He even still says that the #1 profit share earner probably isn't even with our company, but maybe they are, and maybe you're one of them, and we're going to teach you how to do that. So I think there's tons of opportunity here, and it breaks my heart that we don't take more advantage of it. And our goal is, if this blueprint matches you and you feel like you can learn something from it, then join us. We'd love to have you. We want to hear those stories of of your success. You know, we're very passionate about teaching people passive income, and we think Keller Williams has given us the absolute best gift of profit share, no expenses, no liability, no headaches. You know, I tell everyone all the time, no seller has ever told me you changed my life, ever. And I've worked with a lot of sellers, and no buyers either. But I'm going to tell you, agents have come up with tears in their eyes and said, thank you, you changed my life and you changed my family's life. So it's going to give us that significant piece also. And this is an opportunity for us to take advantage of it. And once you get this embedded in you, I hope it stays forever. I think it will, because it just does naturally for me now. And I think it'll help you also in building your own real estate practice. So again, if you want to register today with the promo code, go to kwrievents.kww.com/PSM1, and you're going to use the same promo code, My Future. But if you've got your phone with you and you want it easier, then just text the word KW Profit, all one word, to 72727 to receive the registration link below. And I'm just curious if we had any questions or anything. If there's any questions, Chris, that you want me to answer while I'm on here, that you can specifically see that a burning question someone has, I would love to do that. I could stay here and talk this all day.
Yeah, and that's what we love most about you. The main thing I just want to reiterate with folks is once they get to the registration page, they're going to see a mention of the early bird special also going on right now that saves $150. Even though you see that early bird special, put in the My Future promo code, and on the next screen you'll see it bring the price down even further for you. So please don't let that confuse you. Do you guys have specific questions for Linda? Right now there's a lot. Oh, here's one. How long does it take to build $1 million profit share, and how many agents do you need to recruit?
Okay. Well, for us, again, things have changed because our offices have gotten so profitable. So I think the speed has increased. But for us, we really didn't look at profit share in the very beginning when we first joined. We probably got some people by accident. We only actually have 33 people total in our front line. So it's a myth that it takes thousands of people in your front line. Now, we probably have 7,000 total between my husband and I, but we didn't go recruit all those people. We actually only have 33 that I got 30 and my husband got 3 that we actually physically had to go get ourselves. And so it's not as large a number that you personally have to go recruit. The power of this is when the other people, so if I were you, I would get this at a high level, and then I'd make sure all my people got this at a high level, because the real big money comes from in those deeper levels of your tree, and that's what makes this such a beautiful gift, is because it's not, if I have to go sell houses tomorrow, I got to go sell the houses. And so this is different. This is, you got to do some of it, but there are also going to be other people doing it. So so the time frame for us was probably in probably about 18 years total. But I will tell you, in those early years, it was harder because there were no offices that were profitable. I'm seeing people come up and be in the company a lot less than us and make a lot more money faster. Like part of what we have to do to get to 2 million is get some of our people to 1 million. And so they're coming along much faster, and I believe it's because the company is more successful and it's more profitable. Another question we have is, what is the one daily activity we should focus on for success? To me, it's making that decision of who you're going to build that relationship with, and then driving that relationship deep, and through that relationship show validity, because that's how people will let you build a relationship deep, is when they know you and trust you and feel good about you, and then understanding how to pull their value out of them, and then show validity through giving them that value that's important to them. So that's what I would say the daily activities are. And what we're going to share with you in the course is, how do I do that? You tell me what you're doing tomorrow. I'm going to make up some scenarios of what I'm going to know you're going to be doing tomorrow, and I'm going to share with you, okay, now how do we do this in the throw of what we're already doing tomorrow? And I'm going to give you some live examples of, okay, this agent is doing these things tomorrow, and so here's how we would add this into what we're already doing. Here's how we get the conversation started. Here's how we drive the relationship deeper. And then here's how we start now asking a little more of that person. And as we ask a little bit more, it's so that we can show them more validity. So, yeah, build relationships. How do you get your down this at a high level as well? Well, here's the thing. I'm going to say you never stop thinking about profit share. So even after you go through our course, you join David Jones's or someone else's who actually holds you accountable to think about profit share all the time. And then I would say make sure all your people take and understand. If you feel, when you get through taking this course, if you feel this has really helped you go build more relationships, and because all recruiting is relationships, the way I've been able to recruit more people is I've had more relationships. And I've had them in a way that I was giving to them and showing value that was their value. So, so all my people will take the course. You need all your people to take the course because it's top of mind. It's teaching you how to do it. We don't take steps and we don't take action because we don't know how to do something, or we don't like the way we think we have to do something. And so next question is, how do you stay engaged with high C's when you are a high D? Well, I don't know. I might not put a high C on my board, but I might. Who knows? We're going to talk to you about, well, remember, too, when we stop taking the time, we get time off of it. Just know that a high C is going to take longer, but it's not going to be impossible. And so I'm going to just build a relationship, and because my life's got bigger plans and bigger dreams than how long someone else takes to come, I'm going to take that pressure off of the fact that they're taking so long. So that's one of the things we're going to do. And then the other is we're going to just start giving them things of value, and they're going to take as long as they have to take. And I'm going to be okay with that. And then it said, would you recommend this course for a new agent who doesn't really know a lot of agents yet? Absolutely, because part of what people don't understand is if you're a new agent and you're with our company, you would not believe the validity that you have that anyone else who went anywhere else does not have. I'll give you a perfect example. My little daughter-in-law is new in the business. She goes over to the new school, and because she's new in the business and has had such great success, or even if you've just done one thing, that one thing is valid to someone else. So she goes and grabs those new agents, and she takes them and shows them her office, and she tells them what she did the first year. And here's the thing, she even uses them to make her do some of the things that she needs to do that she hasn't been doing. So we're going to have stuff for new agents. We're going to have stuff for no matter where you are in production or how high your production is. We're going to teach you how to, if you're doing it, if you're approaching a new agent, here's what you're going to do. If you're approaching someone with different production, here's what you do, no matter who you are, because you might not be the validity for someone, but we're going to teach you how to find that validity for someone else. So don't think that you can't recruit if you're new. Any level can recruit any level if you'll learn about validity and how to use it. So yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. A question we've seen several times that would be great for you to explain is how this complements David Jones's pursuit of profit share and how the intention is that they actually benefit each other.
Well, they absolutely do. I'm a guest speaker on David's call a lot, and most of the time when he has me on there, he has me explain, and this is kind of what made us go write this Profit Share Mastery course in a deeper level, was because I would try to explain to people in an hour how we do it and how the philosophy behind why it's better to do it this way. But what we don't add is we don't add that constant reminder to go out and remind you to keep this top of mind like he's going to. And so his is really, to me, going to add that value of accountability. And I'm going to tell you, when I want to do something, I go find accountability and put it behind it. I get a trainer if I need one. I get a food coach if I need one. I get a math coach if I need one. I get coaches because I know where I need the accountability. So we're going to teach you the process and how to do it, and you're going to go out and actually do it. We're going to make sure we overcome any objections you have while we're in the course, but you're still going to get busy and want to walk over dollars to get to dimes at some point, and so that's going to be the extra accountability that you need. And then we'll jump on there periodically as a guest speaker and answer any other questions you have about using this style. And there is no right or wrong way to do it. It's what resonates with you. What do you think feels more like a way that you could do it? And that's what you do. And then the accountability is just accountability, and we all know how important that is. So that's why I see the significance of both. It's not either or. I'm going to tell you, with the kind of money I'm making out of profit share, I would never not let it be top of mind, because you have the same opportunity I do. You just haven't learned how to do it yet. So anyway, you just really need to keep it top of mind. So that's why I would say they kind of go together. Does that make sense, Chris?
Yes, that's a wonderful explanation.
Okay. All right. Gotcha. Is there any other questions that I can answer?
It looks like we're good. I'll run through real quick again, because we have a few folks having trouble with one way of getting in or the other. So if texting is not working, you can definitely just log in to kwrievents.kww.com/PSM1, Profit Share Mastery 1. Again, you can text KW Profit to 72727, and you will automatically receive a registration link. For both of those options, you do need to use the promo code MYFUTURE, MYFUTURE, to save $200, bringing the price of the course down to only $297. If you have any questions outside of that, please email us at fasttrack, FASTTRACK@KW.com, and we will get right with you and make sure that we've met all of your needs. Linda, thank you so much. Do you have any closing thoughts for everybody?
No, I'm just going to tell you, I'm so excited about this. I have not been this excited about something in a long time, because I piloted this a little bit in 2 of our market centers, and I really feel like this is exactly what people need to really take profit share seriously, and to get enough money coming in to do something in their life that's important to them. And I think profit share is such a gift that we've been given, and I'm such a fan of passive income. And if before you have to go buy, I mean, don't get me wrong, if you're going to buy rent houses, I want you to buy our book Hold and follow our formula. But before you ever have to take those kind of risks and those liabilities, let's get your profit share up enough that you can use the profit share money to go buy those investment properties or send a kid to college or whatever. So I'm real excited. This is going to be a lot of fun. I'm really excited. I can't wait to see who comes on the journey with us. But I haven't been this excited in a long time, because I really feel passionate about our profit share opportunity, and it's a gift we have that nobody else in the real estate business has to fix our realtor dilemma.
Well, Linda, thank you so much. This was an amazing call. I can tell how many people are excited. The registrations are pouring in, so everybody get going so you make it in that first 50 and get that full discount. And again, thank you guys so much for being here on a Friday afternoon, especially the weekend of Labor Day. You're amazing, and we appreciate you all.
Yes, we appreciate you all. Thank you. Have a great Labor Day weekend.
Take care. Bye.